Welcome to another My Outlander Purgatory recap. This week, we continue our Season 8 coverage with a recap of episode 807, Evidence of Things Not Seen. Ready? Then pour yourself a rather large dram, settle in, and let's do this! Hi everyone!
Hi everyone!
I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And we are my
Outlander
Purgatory. I don't even want to ask you how you are, Carol, because I think that we're all in the same boat here, y'all. I think that we have collectively can say we are not okay.
It's okay to not be okay.
I know. Although I think, and we'll hear it in the comments, some people are going to be okay. They're going to be like, right on. Like, loved it.
Oh, well, are we talking loved it, like the episode, like thought it was a good episode, or are we talking sadness?
No, I think we're talking was a good episode.
I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck.
I mean, and that's understandable. And I feel like we're jumping into the middle of everything. Carol, what are you drinking? I knew it. I knew that's what it was going to be. I knew that's what your drink was going to be. And if I liked it, I would be drinking the same thing. But I don't really. Oh, yah-ha-hum. Yah-ha-hum. I should really have tried that. I should have done the same thing. And now I am.
What are you drinking?
Back to the I'm back to the margarita, but I too. I mean, I have to go upstairs, whereas you're in the kitchen. I just brought the whole bottle up. Yeah, I think we have to cut right to the chase here because this is going to be like, this could break records in terms of video length. Because there's a lot to say about this episode, clearly. I don't even know where to start, Carol. This episode is Outlander 807, Evidence of Things Not Seen. Some of which we kind of probably wish we hadn't seen.
Oh, Lord help us.
I have a lot of evidence of things that I would rather have not seen.
I feel like I'm going to have some stuff that this is going to be a very interesting discussion because me being I'm to the point now it's weird. I'm to the point now in the book where I didn't get this far in the book, but at the same time, other things didn't happen that did happen in the book before. I just whatever.
Okay. Because you didn't read the book, let me contextualize for you. Most of this episode is brand new and changed on a varying scale of drastically from the book.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
There are 3 points that are complete changes from the book. Want to guess what they are?
Let's talk about it when we get there.
Do you want to?
Let's just start at the beginning.
Do you want to cover anything initially first? Any particular points?
No, because it literally took me. Granted, I had kids texting me and how to eat breakfast and whatever, but it took me 4 hours and 40 minutes to get through this, and I just started in the beginning. And you know me, the way I do it is I have my phone, I'm in the notes app, and I take a picture and I talk about it. And I take a picture and I talk about it. And there's so many pictures that at one point I Googled, like, is Apple going to flag me? Like, tell me this note is too long, because there's just a lot.
I didn't know any particular spoilers, but we thought we knew what was going to happen as book readers. So we were sort of ready for that. But then I started getting in on Friday morning, started seeing what the F was just that. And I'm going to just do a blanket apology here, you guys, because F-bombs may be dropped.
Oh, God.
Cover your ears. Yeah, I mean, I started no less than Karen Henry, who we talk about all the time this season because she's awesome. But no less than Karen Henry was What was that? Like, what?
See, I can't read that before I watch that. So, like, you even said something and you were like, but I don't know. This is just me thinking. But even that was introducing an idea to me that I wouldn't have had in my head. And now I'm watching and I'm waiting. As much as I tell my brain, shut up, my brain never shuts up. So my brain is like, is it going to happen? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be this? You know what I mean? If I
Mhm.
like, I don't know how you can read anything before watching the episode. I want nothing.
I mean, I wasn't reading. I wasn't spoiled. I wasn't spoiled about any of the things that were spoiled. I mean, I knew there was going to be more faith business. I'll say now that we've watched it, I'll say there's a photo of like the photo of Jamie and Claire giving Fanny the like reporter's notes. We'll get into that. And she's reading them. So clearly they were like, it was clear from that image that they were telling her information. And I had seen that photo, so I was just like, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, okay. This is gonna go down, but we know it's gonna go down and it's just gonna suck. But then I just kept hearing like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what have they done? This is a train wreck. This is totally jumped the shark, whatever. So, and I knew, okay, because of the books, I can say it now because we watched it. So, spoiler from the books from like 2 books ago, it's Henri Christian who dies in the fire,
Right.
who, falls and dies in the fire. Okay?
And they tricked us.
And and we'll get that to that. It's not in the show. We'll get to that. So, you know, I knew it was Henri Christian, but if everyone's like like being all pissy, I'm like, not like I was like, is it Fergus instead? But I was just like, something's weird here. I didn't even get the whole because I'm mentioning the three big ones now. The whole Lord John and
Oh,
William walking in on Lord John.
I saw it coming. Saw it coming.
Which spoiler alert for this video, that's the worst one for me. That's
Saw
that's
it
that's unforgivable.
coming.
But we'll get to that. I
Saw
have
it
so much
coming.
to
The
say about that.
second they started getting closer, I was like, where's William? I knew. I friggin' knew he has surpassed Jamie in Job-ness. Oh my God, there's so much to say.
And that scene does not happen in the book. That doesn't even come close to happening in the
Oh,
book.
it's
Not at all.
becoming so like Hollywoodized. I just, ugh.
My God, you want to talk about it now, or do you want to wait till we get
All right,
there?
let's go back to the beginning.
Okay, all right, okay. Oh my God, you guys, buckle up, baby, because we got a lot to say. All right, a
Wait, hang
writer.
on. Hang on 1 second because the kid at college texted. And when I get a text from the kid at college, I always look.
Okay.
He's dealing with something with Sony right now with the PlayStation. And he's like, are we going to blah, blah, blah? Because if so, I won't have to worry about dealing with Sony today. And I'm like, I'm dealing with Sony today. You should have to deal with Sony today.
We're all dealing with Sony today. That's great. That's
Oh
hilarious.
my God, I'm going to tell him.
Super funny.
Okay, so Aunt
That's super
Tracy and I
funny.
are in the middle of making a video, and we're dealing with Sony today
How many
because
people text like this? Tell us in the comments. I go.
sorry, they're
Go.
they're
No, just
partnered with
talk
Stars
among.
and
Go ahead.
Outlander, so
We're
I
talking
have to
amongst
go, but
ourselves.
we'll talk about it when I'm
Keep
done.
them.
Thanks.
Keep them. Which do you do? Let us know.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Our writer for this episode is Tony Graffia. I'm not gonna like sit here and point fingers at Tony Graffia for this because it's everybody's. It's the writers' room in general. They break down this story very early on. Um, they break it down. They knew this was going to happen when they started writing the episodes. I don't know if Tony Graffia drew the short straw here, or if Tony Graffia was like, I want to do this because it's like a chance, for whatever reason. I don't even want to speculate, but like, I'm not, because a lot of people are like Tony Graffia, et tu, Tony Graffia. Um,
Turn
and
that
I'm
off.
not going to do that, but wow, just I blame the whole writers' room for this. I'm looking at all of you. Okay. And the director is Tracey with an E, dear, just like me, Tracey with an E. So the cold open, I could not love this more. This is what was so like just crazy about this episode. The first 20 minutes I thought were exquisite. Like so many things that I loved in the first 20 minutes of this episode, and this was one. We hear Frank in a very like unemotional, reading from the text way, reading his like doing the audio version of his book, and the part where he's describing what happens at King's Mountain. And at the same time, Jamie kilted, I might add, which like when does that ever happen? But no,
Jesus, it
he
was
wears his
just wow.
he wears his kilt to do this.
Well, it just seemed like we were back then.
Yes, yes. He's climbing up the big stones as Frank is describing them, and then you see the scenery where he's at the top, and Frank is talking about how the rebels like won the battle and they only lost about like 28 people, but one of them was James Fraser, or Jamie says, and one of them was James Fraser. And I was just like, I want to cry. This is just so great. Like this is like the Frank voice and the Jamie visual married up together. So good. The scenery is epic. The voice of Frank, totally cold and unemotional, reading about this stuff. Oh, I forgot to like move myself, so I'm not looking myself. Okay. Jamie is resolute. I just love, 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 love. And the final shot where they sort of like, I don't know if they pan out or whatever, but it's epic. It's epic. That was an epic cold open.
Right. Agreed. I'm not even going to say anything because there's so much to say. Let's just move on. I agree. I have a picture of that, and I'm just like, holy F me, Jamie looks really hot in that. In that full regalia, and it's interesting that he's trotting around in it in North Carolina.
Well, it's very purposeful. He wears the kilt in a very purposeful way.
Interestingly, that you should say that. The first thing I thought when I said that was, I had to Google that. I want to know, because they had the Diskilting Act and they went through all of that. And I want to know how authentic that is. Like, how much were they in North Carolina? I know it's the state of Scots. How much were they when they all came here? Were they all still wearing was it, I'm going to guess not as much because, anyway, we can get into that later, but I definitely want to Google that. And every time I see Prince Charles in a kilt, I just want to.
Oh, that doesn't really bug me too much, but now this unplugged. All right, sorry.
It should be illegal. It should be illegal for them.
I had to
get to wear a kilt.
A little bit. Okay.
Don't fuck with me today, people. Do not fuck with Carol today. Do you ever hear me say the F word? Very rarely. Forget about it. And the more of this that goes in, the more ugly that's going to come out.
Okay. All right. So the Easter egg, I'm still like, I've had so many problems with my camera and I'm still like trying to futz around with it, but like, whatever. It's all good. The Easter egg is, somebody working all these thingies. First, I thought it was Marsali at the loom, but no, it was a lace maker.
Oh, do you want to know? Oh, here I go. You're just now telling me what that was.
No.
I was far away from the TV. I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, the hell? What is that? Hello, majored in fashion and studied. I took yarns 1 and yarns 2, and she's making lace. Tom's whole damn ancestry is like dressmakers and shit, and I'm now like, oh, look what that is. See, this is what's gonna.
I mean, I just like assumed it was lace makers because of all the lace crap.
Really cool. I did not see that lace in the middle, so I was like, again, I was across the room from the TV. I was like, the heck.
Well, and then they show the lace after that. She's like, yeah, and then they're like, here's the nice lace.
Okay.
Look.
Okay. This brain, and maybe it was because it was earlier today, did not put all the wooden things together with the next Easter egg of lace, which, because I watched the scenes and saw that there was going to be the fire,
right.
I'm going with funeral fabric here. Like, I didn't even know what I was looking at. I just saw
that was the veil the Claire wore when they
I just saw that it was black.
Mm-hmm. it's the not the funeral, I guess the funeral when they went to
Right.
visit
Right.
Faith at
Right.
the grave.
There's
Um,
there's there's so much anger right now. Just keep going and we're gonna get there.
okay, okay. Um, okay. So we're in the big house, and Jamie's pretty much reporting back to Claire sort of what he figured out from this trip, that Frank is not like, you know, telling lies. He's not trying to, douche me over. He is it's all true. Like, I can totally see how this is going to happen.
Okay, I have
Um
a question right now
yes.
that I knew when
Yes.
I was watching I was gonna have a question. So, are we thinking that Frank wrote this book? Number one, I haven't read the book. So, should I stop asking what I'm about to ask, which
No.
is
No.
when Frank wrote this book? Do we have any idea at what time period? Because, okay, don't answer. I'm just wondering in my head what kind of materials were out there for Frank to research without the internet. Not that obviously I went to the library as a kid, just like you. Not you, Tracey, everyone. What kind of, how is Frank knowing every detail of that, what became Battlefield? What was a battlefield? Lord, it's like Back to the Future. How did Frank know you come up over the ridge and this is a pyre and not ridge, but and then it's all and it's it. And Frank had it exact. How? Like, I'm just wondering what I don't disbelieve. I'm just wondering what kind of materials were out there that were explaining to Frank exactly what the battlefield was like.
I think there were plenty of materials. There's a ton of, first of all, don't forget, Frank is an academic, and he's an academic at Harvard, I think. Yeah, he was a historical researcher slash professor at Harvard.
Right,
Before
right,
that, he was at Oxford. So
right.
he has access to like serious primary sources for
Okay.
any period of history that he wants.
Eh,
You asked me before when. In my mind, I think it was, I mean, don't forget, he and Claire were married for 20 years, but like there's a lot of secrets there, and they didn't live separate lives, but they lived sort of separate lives. So he could have been doing anything and she would not have known.
Right,
So
right.
like he's researching for this book.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a question that I have written down here, that Claire is like, she's like, I'm stumped. I'm trying to figure out why Frank did this. Did he did this to F me over? Did he do it because he was really interested in it? Did he do it to send a message to, like, what? And I said, what do you guys think? Um I mean, I feel like Frank at his heart was a historian. I don't think Frank is going to do anything to like get back at his cheating wife.
Um,
I shouldn't say that. He's going to, like, cheat on her or whatever. But like in his academic profession and his academic calling, he's not going to make a choice just to, like, you know a figurative fuck you to Claire, or like, oh, Jamie, I'll show you, like, whatever. I think that in the midst of all of this relationship stuff with Frank, I think he was genuinely interested in this because, again, he's a historian. Like, and it's really interesting what happens. You know what
right.
I mean? Like,
Yes.
that's where I think he went with it. Now, there could be, and I think there probably is from the previous books, things of like he, maybe is he did started doing some research, figures out maybe that Claire goes back, figures out that, like, logically Brianna might go back as well because of that, wants to protect her, but also, you know, is interested in this material. That's my thinking.
Okay. You just answered my question way back in the beginning when you said he was a Harvard scholar, historian. I'm looking at this as Carol's access to this
Hmm.
information before the internet. Because since the internet, as many of you know, I am a total Revolutionary War dork. I read through things that were written about this area so that I can fact check some of the stories that go around. I've got a rock up the street from my house that the Daughters of the American Revolution put flowers all the time, where Sam Allen.
Right.
So my point is, I'm looking at it from my perspective before the internet came along and how hard it still would have been to find out what the hell that battlefield looked like. But Frank, number one, had much better access. And number two, was already a published historian at that point working at Harvard. He could hop on a plane to do his research and go anywhere.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And he wouldn't have to tell Claire, I have to travel for work. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Right.
And I'm spending a week there. Okay,
Right.
have fun, darling.
Right.
Don't forget,
Yeah,
Claire's
exactly.
head was all up in her medical career.
But I'm sorry, you just brought something up, which is, I don't think he did this to stick it to Claire, my words, but didn't all of it stick it to Claire? Knowing and not telling Claire?
Sort of. Sort of. But,
I'm just too honest a person. I wouldn't want someone to stay with me because they didn't know any better. I would say, here's what I saw. You decide what you're going to do.
He didn't know. He didn't know he was going to die in a car crash, right?
No,
in his
knew.
mind, they were married, death till you part.
But he wrote the book before he died. I mean, he knew all of that information.
Right.
He knew,
but suppose
he knew Jamie lived.
This is a road, like, whatever. But it's sort of interesting to just let's just talk through quickly. But suppose he didn't die. That's the conversation that would have been had, is like, I've been working on a book that's going to be published and it's about James Fraser. And maybe he would decide not to publish it. But then again, he did decide to publish it. So, like, had he not died in the car crash,
publish the book or tell Claire?
Publish the book.
No, I'm saying.
And tell Claire that he published the book.
Oh, right.
That's a whole, well, let's talk, a lot of people are calling this episode fan fiction. That's fan fiction I'd want to see. Like, what happens? What?
Daddy wrote this book and I brought it for you. Really? Really, Bree? Where'd you get it? It must say in the effing jacket. And then I kept going, oh, that's right. Bree doesn't know. But doesn't she? Doesn't Bree know what happened with Black Jack Randall? No. Doesn't she know bad shit went down with Brad? I don't know if she knows the extent of it.
I don't know. I think she knows a little bit, but let's move on because we have so much to talk about.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
But this is a whole other video we could do on this because it's really interesting. I agree with you. And tell us in the comments why you think Frank
I see her with casks.
Wrote that book.
They were like in the basement with casks, she and Jamie having a discussion about it. That's what I remember. All right, keep going.
Okay. Next, we get to the Savannah and the print shop. This is my favorite. This is my favorite scene of the whole episode. This scene was exquisite. I cried. The second time I watched it, I teared up. This is the scene I teared up in. This was just lovely. Kudos. Obviously, slow golf clap for Cesar Dumbo.
Oh Lord,
I'm saying your name right.
I was mad at myself. I was like, we should have paid more attention to him.
I know. We did get a picture with him, though. We did get a selfie with him. I'm sorry, Germont, the actor. I didn't Google you, but I did Google. His name is Benjamin Moss. And slow golf clap for Henri Christian.
Good.
Because my God, where did they find this kid?
I don't know. He's so good.
He's so good.
And part of me, I hate to say it,
more than 4 years old. Maybe he's older. I don't know.
No, he's older than that. But part of me is like, at least Henri Christian's okay. That's the only thing. That's the only thing getting me through this day and night is that Henri Christian's okay.
I just wrote down the two boys are so adorable. Henri Christian is a love bug.
Oh.
And then I wrote, I've been writing more actual dialogue lately. I don't want to disappoint you, Papa. I'm different. I'm going to tear up right here in front of this video. You could never disappoint me. And there is no shame in being different.
And he shows his hand.
That broke me, guys.
Absolutely loved it. And I have, the pen is our sword and we can never lay it down. And I have interesting, gives me a different perspective on Fergus. And guys, I might have written this 10 years ago when I was vlogging. I have no idea. I forget all of it. gives me a different perspective on Fergus and why he wants to run the print shop, i.e., he's not able to fight. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's fighting the way he can fight. Love it.
Right. Yeah, and I wrote that down too. Fergus, Fraser, and Sons, this will all be yours one day. Broke me. That whole little scene, best scene in the show, broke me.
Yes, well, I've already rewritten it in my head, and in my head, don't forget, guys, no spoiler, I haven't read it. In my head, Marsali's going to come to her damn senses and go get that money for her kids. All right, we're going to keep going.
Carol, spoiler alert, Fraser, Fergus doesn't die in the book, which is why, like, people are having a hard time with this.
Which is, you're all on my playing field because you don't know what's going to happen either.
But like, all of this Fergus stuff happened, and Henri Christian happened when they were in Philadelphia, I think, or no, maybe they were in Savannah. I don't remember. Whatever. Okay. We're back at Lord John's house. And this is Amaretto and William, and
how much time do we have? Because we need to make sure.
I was gonna say, like, why is like Amaretto and Son's picture hanging like front and center above the hearth in the fireplace? But I realized it's Hal's house. It's Hal's house. Lord John is just staying there, so that makes a little more sense. Even though Hal's never met her and doesn't know he has a grandson. Sure, let's hang her portrait in
Or did Bree just paint that last week?
Maybe because it's Bree's painting, it gets a place to honor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Amaretto's all like, we were so worried, whatever.
Hang on a minute, because I have to say that William, first they show the painting, and then they show William looking like he's tasting something bad. He's looking at it, and he's like... And here she comes.
My God. I usually say
ahead.
Smelled something bad, but yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So they have this whole conversation where, William's like, yeah, Ben's not dead, biatch. And Amaretto is like, oh, really? I didn't know any of this. And William's like, yeah, you planned it, bitch.
I swear to God, and I have something to say, but you haven't gotten there yet.
I just wrote down, Amaretto is spinning lies faster than they spin that lace. I really don't know anymore with all this. And this, I don't know how much from the book this is or not. I don't remember. Again, I've said it a million times. I don't really I sort of turn off the William Amaretto stuff in the books because I just don't care. So I don't really know how close this was to the books. But I can't tell what's true anymore. Like, so she's saying that the recognized truth is that Ben really did choose being a rebel over the wife and baby. And she was like, yeah, no, you can't do that because it's gonna make us all look like terrible. Right. So why don't you, if you feel that strongly about it, pretend you're dead and then
go be dead.
Well, yeah, go be dead.
Go be dead.
So clearly their relationship, they were having relationship problems, I would say.
Relationship problems. She's pissed. Carol's starting to come around to Narragansett. I just all right, and so far it's just her and William in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I first of all oh no, that didn't happen yet either. I appreciated what she was saying about and we're gonna get into them, so keep going.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just like she, but then it's like oh snap, Williams. She's like, well, I wanted to choose someone different from whatever. So William's like, oh, you wanted a coward for your second husband, like me, I'm the coward. Yeah. It's just all a mess, and that's where Lord John comes in. Lord John was hilarious. Oh, but no, I'm sorry, I missed. William is like, I gotta tell him. I gotta tell Lord John and Hal, and Amaretto's like,
no, she's like, you can't, don't, because that's gonna make a whole mess. And then he come. All right, sorry, I'm.
No, it's all right. No.
I'm leading the dance.
Lead the dance.
Lord John comes in. And all I can say is, yay, Hal's coming! Because Hal's coming from London, and Lord John's all upset because he's got to tell him what happened to Ben. And I will be damned if William doesn't say, oh, Ben's not dead. Immediately. Doesn't think about it. Doesn't worry about what she thinks. William is so impressive. He lives by his convictions. And he says it later in the episode. What is the line that he gives? I don't go by, I don't remember what it was. All I know is, because I was like, ooh, is William going to tell Lord John? Is he going to say? He doesn't even hesitate. He just dives right in and says, Ben's not dead. He's not going to let her. Oh, it was so good.
No, but he leaves out, she's the one that he leaves out those parts. He leaves out anything about her.
He's very.
She's the one that's like, I gotta tell you something.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very cautious and guarded and tells Lord John what he needs to know.
Right.
What William believes that isn't fair to keep from Lord John, and keeps what he believes is fair to Narragansett. But then she starts breathing like Bella in New Moon. And I'm like, the hell's happening right now? And then Lord John tells her it's all going to be better with some tea and something to eat.
And food.
And all I could think of was Graham Elsie, Tom's grandmother, who used to say, I'll make you a nice sandwich.
Okay, let's keep moving. Let's go to another locale in Savannah, which is the farmer's market in Savannah. Farmer's market looked good. We have Bree and Marsali. They're walking around. Marsali's doing her shopping, 2 onions, this, that, the other. I really liked this scene. It was a very natural conversation, walking and talking scene.
Yes.
So what we get out of here is that Fergus is turning down the Percy money. He's just like, yeah, no, I can't do it. And that Bree and Roger have been in contact with the gun guys. They're getting the guns tomorrow, and they're getting the hell back to Dodge.
And when Fergus wanted to say forget the money, I was okay with that.
We'll talk about that later. Sorry, I need a refill. How much of this bottle will I drink by the end of the day? Okay. I had one question about the scene, which is, so Splat, some asshole, throws a tomato at Marsali and is like, yeah, rebel, what marries to the rebel.
A tomato.
Yada, yada. Tomato, sorry, but in 1780, weren't tomatoes considered really black magic and no one ate them?
Kind of like a big deal, you only had them to get rid of scurvy.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that they're selling them at the farmer's market was a little weird to me.
The fact that they're wasting one and throwing it at her.
I know, right?
Maybe it was a rotten tomato.
Maybe. Okay, back to Ridge. We're at the stream. And I think that we're at the Jane cairn. And she's going through all of her little things, her little Jane things. And she's like, here, this is the necklace that I had with Jane. I'm going to wear it. Oh, Jane, they're so great. The little pancake story was delightful.
I have Fanny knows Claire can't cook. I feel vindicated. Remember her and her cookies a couple weeks ago? And I was like, my girl can't even turn on the stove.
I meant to say this at the outset. I'm going to diss a lot of this episode. But what I'm not dissing is any of the performances. The actors to a person were wonderful with everything that they were asked to do.
Right.
Fanny's asked to do some crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
And that girl, Florrie Wilkinson,
she's good. She is good.
She's so good. And this little scene was just super cute. So I think she's with Claire, not both with Jamie and Claire.
Right.
And all of a sudden she starts freaking out. And Claire's like, oh, darling, what's wrong? Well, she's missing this piece of lace that evidently was Jane's. She lost it at some point from Monmouth to the Ridge. And Fanny's like, we have to find it. And I was like, oh, honey, that ship has sailed. Tracking back to Monmouth to find the scrap of lace. But the story is that her grandmother made it. And her grandmother was a lace maker in Paris. And Jamie and Claire lived in Paris. Isn't that a quink dink?
Yes, I thought that was very
The best part is Claire's like, do you remember her name? Like, what was her name?
Yeah.
Like,
What was this lace maker's
just
name?
great.
I also noticed the lace, and I have to say that it's so true because, like I just said, Tom's great great grandmother, I don't know. So they had a business, and she was a dressmaker, and we all got a piece of lace at one point. And this reminded me that I framed it at some point. Like, it's a thing. Like, this poor soul, she's missing that piece of lace, and her grandmother made it. And we see from the beginning what it takes to make the lace. Now I'm
Right, right,
all
right,
up
right,
in
right.
making lace. I want to try it.
Right, right, right. Um, okay. Anything else about that?
Yes, well, I have a question for you about one of her other little trinkets. Which, P.S., did you notice how she has her little trinkets in her little piece of fabric? And all I could think of was how Jamie always carried his little, I don't want to say
Oh, that's
trinkets,
so
but in his
cute.
sporran, he always had his little stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. But
Yeah.
but ladies didn't have, it was sort of like the opposite, I guess, that men had the handbags and
Yes.
ladies did not. Ladies just had to wrap it up in a little hanky and carry it around with them.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess. So I have a question, and I don't know if you're going to touch on it. So I'm going to wait and see if you touch on it from that conversation. Or if you're finished the
okay.
trinket conversation, let me know.
I'm finished with the trinket conversation. I'm ready to
Okay.
move on.
So it's not really a question, but I have, we already talked about that, about the piece of lace. And then number two, she says Mr. Fraser gave her a locket at Monmouth, and it said Faith, the locket said Faith on it. And she was like, "You won't mind if I wear this, Jane." And she puts the locket on, and it says Faith. And she said Mr. Fraser gave it to her at Monmouth. So I'm like, okay, I guess Faith was a common enough name. Like, I don't know. Like, I just thought it was interesting that I guess it was in Jane's stuff.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know why Fanny's all like, you won't mind me wearing this. Why? Because it was Jane's thing. It was Jane's necklace or locket.
Yeah, but like I said, I just
Did he give that to her special, or did he just give it to her with all the other stuff, and they just happened to notice that the locket said Faith?
maybe, but they
I don't remember.
didn't. I don't think he ever, I mean, I don't think that was ever a thing. I just found it as a viewer interesting that she's holding a locket and putting it on that's Jane's, that says Faith on it, and says Mr. Fraser gave it to her at Monmouth. And I was like,
It's just one more clue, Carol. It's one more
they're all
clue in the
clues.
mystery.
And I guess I don't need to get into it. I was pissed at this point with lots of pissed emojis about when she and Claire were discussing, like, oh, my grandmother who, raised, or, whatever. And I was like, what? But we find out later in the episode, so it's cool. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't quite sure where they were going there, too. I was like, maybe Claire was like, well, then I was wrong about everything, and Faith really is still dead. That ends.
So,
Shoot. Okay. We're back to Lord John's house.
yes, and can I go see this house somewhere? Because it literally looks like AI. It's just so perfect and beautiful, and it's gorgeous and captivating, and I want it. Like that, every time they show that shot of that house and those palm trees and that teal color that I still need to know how they came up with.
I know. It's gorgeous. I know. All right, so Amaretto tells her story while they're drinking the brandy. William backs her up on it. And Lord John obviously is not super thrilled. And is a little suspicious, as he should be. Duh. He's like, it's an incredibly lucrative, set of actions that you took, or whatever he said. And Amaretto freaks out. She does her best, like, glass throw, like, I will do anything to save my baby. I'll never be hungry again. Whooshum. I was surprised she didn't slap him. Like, there was a couple places where I wanted people to slap people in this episode.
Yeah.
And Lord John, like, he has to say this, but he's like to William, yeah, I've seen the two of you, and I see you like this, and she's got a husband, so, like, back off.
I have, oh shit, Chrysanthemum is in some big ass shit now. Lord John might be stunning looking, but you don't want to piss him off. And then when she did that, I was like, you go, girl. This got me right where it counts. This is every minute of every day. She's protecting that kid. This was a big central theme in this episode. She's protecting her kid, and she'll friggin' do anything to protect that kid. So I'm like, all right, that's it. Now I gotta start saying, what's her name? All I hear is Narragansett.
Amaranthus is the real
Amaranthus.
name.
I have Amaranthus. It came out Amarant. Amaranthus deserves her name to be spoken properly now. She's earned it. Now I like this bitch.
See, I thought Lord John was actually pretty reasonable. Like, I thought, because he's saying, like, I don't approve of, everything here, but, like, I understand the motivations behind them.
I did, but her point was, you've been rich since the day you were born, and you don't know what it's like to go hungry.
Right.
And I've got this kid who comes from your stock, your family's stock, and I got to make sure this kid is breathing every day. So yeah, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure this kid
No, I get
is
it.
okay.
I get it. Okay. Anything else about that, or can we move on?
That was a high five.
Okay. So we're back to Savannah, to Marsali and Fergus's house, the print in front of the house,
sorry.
print shop, whatever.
I have more than that. Any association with her beyond what is perfunctory familial duty would be improper and impermissible. Like, did you not think this was delicious language coming out of Lord John?
Yeah. I mean, anything Lord John says, but at this point, like, the Lord John Amaranthus William stuff is just, it's boring to me. It's not. It's just not.
I'm like you. But I'm gonna skip it because we have a lot to get to.
I'm with you that I'm looking forward to how. I will say this. I don't know that we're going to see that scene because of where we've left it with William and Lord John. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so Fergus and Marsali's house. They're, she's washing the tomato out of her clothes, and look, it's a mystery poem at the door. Because I was just like mad about everything in this episode, I Googled the poem. And it is accurate. It's a the whole ladybird, fly away home, yada, yada. It's a nursery rhyme that was first published around 1744. So, okay, we're good with that. But they're just getting all these, like, poems, and they're ranking them, and they're making fun of them, much like we might do. And then Henri Christian runs out. He is all covered with ink, and he's been, like, doing something with the printing press, whatever, and what I put right is, like, book readers are literally sobbing at this point of what they think is about to happen. Okay. And Marsali, I have to say, there was a little, like, Marsali's kind of calmed down a little bit, because there was a time where, going back to the tomato throwing, there was a time there where Marsali would have turned around and just clocked that guy, or at least tried to, right?
Right.
And she didn't. Like, well, I mean, maybe she would have if it was just her, but Bree was like, let's go. Yeah. But basically here, she shows her courage again. She's like, screw these notes. We're not going anywhere. We're staying. And Fergus is feeling rather Fergus Lamazzi. So we got another box to check. I feel like this one, though I fast forwarded it through the second time. This one was purposeful because, of what happens later. And it was at least interesting. Like, they clearly have a ton of chemistry. It's kind of funny. They're kind of laughing, But yeah, I fast forwarded the second time.
I loved it. I have hottest scene.
It was pretty hot. It was pretty hot.
I have hottest scene I've seen this year, and seriously,
yes, I would agree.
Don't remember how long on Outlander. Oh my God, Marsali's stockings are so cute. I don't blame her. Fergus is hot as F. Talk about animal magnetism and charisma. Shit. Yes, I mean, that scene, this is what I'm always saying. Less is more, people. Like, this was awesome. It
Right,
totally got the
right.
point across. You
I
were there. You understood
Right,
it.
right,
You were going
right.
into that room with Fergus too. And little
I
did I
felt like
know at that time why they were throwing us this
right,
crumb.
right, exactly. Like that's
Ugh.
why, I don't know that Fergus and Marsali even get a box on the list of boxes to check for
Yeah.
like sex scene in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, I was like, have we
But
ever seen a sex scene between these two?
I don't know.
I
But
couldn't remember.
yeah, I just felt like it was really free. I felt like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the fact that there's an intimacy coordinator now or that, people just I mean, and people and you it's a really fine line of like how much restriction to put on stuff or how much um overseeing to do. And I just felt like the two of them were like, yeah, we don't need the intimacy coordinator for this. We got this. Don't worry about it. Like you can just go like leave and we'll just do our thing.
It was
And they're just
so
they feel
much
so
better
comfortable with
than
each other and so willing to do whatever.
right.
And yeah, oh, 100%. I mean, I still
Why
like fast forward it the second time. I watched it the first time.
why can't they ever give Roger and Bree like fun scenes like that? Why does everything have to be this deep intimacy? Like what
Right. It's
what
like a duty. It's like prescribed. And this felt really like fun. It
yeah.
felt fun. It felt
Hell
fun.
yeah. It was a step away from it was only a step under Fergus Lamaze.
Right. But obviously it's purposeful in the narrative because you're now going to feel way worse. It was very, this whole thing was very This Is Us, by the way. Very This Is Us, which is probably why you don't watch This Is Us and you never did watch This Is Us.
I watched This Is
Um,
Us. I watched a few episodes and Tom watched it with me and it was really depressing and we stopped watching. I don't need all that sadness in my
right.
life.
Um,
I had to laugh how they went from this to like Claire and Jamie sitting here having a conversation. And I was like, what a buzzkill. Oh my God. Who would ever think that like going to Claire and Jamie would be the buzzkill?
and guys, this is where I started to lose my shit. Like I should just like if I could turn this around, this I could probably. No, I can't turn my camera around. So yeah, it's a big house. Claire's filling Jamie in on the lace. It's so bad, you guys. It's so like Dynasty meets Knots Landing. It's so like that's what this would happen on. Like Jamie's like, oh, now that you mention it, I do remember that there was a lace maker right across the street from Master Raymond's house.
Um, I, it was like I seem to remember, and then seconds
Yeah.
later he's like, "Oh, I went in there and bought lace." Like, I thought you seemed to remember a second ago, and now you made a monetary exchange in there.
And like, but no, the worst is like that he's like, and I went in one day. I remember that's all coming back to me now, Claire. It's like I haven't thought about this since we've thought of this ridiculous thing that Faith is our daughter, but it's just coming back to me now. I went in there one day because I heard a baby crying.
I heard a baby.
Oh my God, Claire! What if it was our daughter? I just wrote down in capital letters, "Come the fuck on." Like
I have Jamie. I have a bad word. Jamie was there and he heard a baby. Oh my God. On the one hand, I feel like, oh, they're tackling yet another subject, like losing a child. In this case, it's like kidnapping, a lot of different facets and emotions. And on the other hand, I'm like, how many subjects are we going to bring into this situation? I almost feel like we're like, was it Amanda on Melrose Place? Like, just was that her name? Like she was an alcoholic and it was fixed in like 2 episodes. Like what? Now you heard a baby next across the street
Can you remember all these other times that you've been talking about? Is Faith alive? Like, wait, like all these things aren't adding up, Claire. Like, gee, Fred, I don't know, Daphne. Do you think like?
Yes, I keep
What do you
wanting
think,
to
Shaggy?
say. I keep wanting to
I don't
say.
know.
So funny you're saying that because I keep hearing in my head, if it wasn't for those meddling kids, and I'm like, wait, though, that doesn't make sense. It's what you're saying makes sense. It's that whole, oh, do you think? And now I'm like, and now Claire's just making shit up about Mother Hildegard naming the baby Faith because, oh, maybe she named the baby Faith. Maybe Faith because of this and that and blah, blah. And I'm like, this is like what I say to my kids. You're literally standing there making that up. You have no idea.
Well, I think maybe that's true. If I remember correctly from the books, maybe Mother Hildegard did call her Faith because Claire was so out of it. Like, you know, they had to. I mean, you know, back when she was dead, when she was actually dead, and for reality, and they had to bury her.
You mean
they named her Faith like after she died, basically. And here's a question I have. So Claire is a fucking physician, okay? Go back to when she just had Faith, right?
Right.
And she was out of her mind. I get it. Right. She was in shock.
Right.
She's out of her mind.
Right.
But like she cognitively knew that Faith was a stillborn or had died.
Dead.
She like
dead.
Like she cognitively knew that. You know, there wouldn't be like the baby's coming back to life. I mean, are we saying Master Raymond brought the baby back to life? Somebody brought the baby back to life. And if it's Master Raymond, why is he doing that? Only to take the baby away from Claire.
I'm telling you right now, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, Claire has saved the most hardened of criminals because she has to save everyone. And yes, she was sick as a dog, but Claire knew this baby was dead. So
yes.
Are you gonna give us and now I guess we maybe they will. I'm holding on hope that in the next 3 episodes something about Master Raymond is going to be explained to us. Because Master Raymond was a traveler, wasn't he?
Yes.
So I am like,
and magic too, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but Claire was too. Why couldn't Claire brings other babies back to life? Why is
Claire even like going to medical school when she could just bring people back by like going like this and a blue light comes out?
Yes.
Like so why bother to spend all that money?
Right. So I don't really know. I'll tell you right now that if this series ends and they don't go into any more of this about Master Raymond and that baby, and how could you leave us like this? You're the ones who decided to bring this story to light because Diana Gabaldon wasn't. She was the one that wrote the story and the baby was dead. And I'm sorry, people, because I hate to be like, the baby was dead. But the baby was gone. We saw, the audience saw that baby. So exactly what you all decided to make this up. Are you going to explain it? Let's hope so.
Right. And I mean, like, people process that, and that was hard for a lot of people. It would be like
for people who've been through it, for God's sake.
3 episodes from now, Fergus is like, oh, nope, not really dead. Here we go.
Right.
Yeah, like, why can't Claire just go to Savannah and, like, or well, I have a question about, like, where's Fergus's body? Like, because they didn't show it in the wagon. But, like, if Claire's all about, like, raising people from the dead, no problem. Just bring Fergus back.
Right.
I mean, but even if she has those powers now, I don't think she did then. So it just keeps going like, okay, did Master Raymond bring her back because Claire's going to feel better in a week and like ready to take care of her at that point, but she's not really now. So rather than just handing her over to the nuns to take care of her while Claire recuperates, you know, like, why are you even bringing, it's like when
it's like when you're making a recipe and you know it's not coming out right. So you're like, well, let me just add a little more of this. All right. And I was like, oh, crap. All right, let me try. I'm going to add a little more of this. That's what I'm feeling like with all of this. Right. What are you doing?
And I know that people are like, oh, it's, you know, the book is the show, and you can't like, and you know, we're about to get to a thing that does not happen in the books that I'm going to be like, spoiler alert, like, I think it works in the show. But this ain't it, because this just makes less than no sense.
Right.
Like I don't care if you're looking at it from a book perspective, from a show perspective, it makes no sense.
Right. I told you, I'm holding on hope that we're gonna get some sense in the next 3 episodes, but I really don't think so. All
I
right,
don't
let's
think so
go.
either.
Let's keep
I don't
going.
think so either. All right. I will say that Jamie and Claire sort of end this scene with like a nice little like, you know, reaffirmation of the two of them and their connection and
I
hold on to me always. That was nice.
I didn't like it.
It's nice. All right.
I just feel like I'm just sick of it. I'm just oh, I have we have this, we're hearing stuff like this every week. Like it's starting to sound like a soap opera. It's sounding like a nighttime soap opera. And I have
Absolutely.
Claire Beecham Randall Fraser Gray Fraser was a tough cookie. She would not have been this dramatic all the time. Like just let's
Right,
move
right.
on.
Secret baby come to life. You're absolutely right. That's things out of General Hospital. Like that's what happens
General
on General Hospital.
Hospital. Let's move on because I love the next scene.
This next scene we're gonna have to talk through because
Tracey, what's happening in the next scene? What is your basic when you look at the what do you see in the next beginning of the next scene? I can show you a picture if that would make it a little
I mean
bit
it's a nice front
easier.
porch. Lord John has a nice front porch. I like a nice front porch. I sat on my front porch last night. I drank a
Um,
lot of wine.
I'm just gonna
Much like much
say,
like much like Lord John.
I'm just gonna say, what is Lord John doing here?
Uh Pretty much drinking like we are.
He's having brandy on the veranda.
Oh, brandy on the veranda. Oh, that's
I
funny.
took one look at this and I was like, oh my God, Tracey.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. All right. I have to say this scene, this is the worst thing for me. Of all of the like non-book things that happen, this scene to me, things can never be the same.
You
I
like it or you
this is
hate it?
no, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so
Because
much.
why?
I'm
Why do
not
you hate
I'm
it?
you're way more likely to be like they're interjecting like current day sensibility into whatever.
Currentism.
Stop trying to make heated rivalry happen.
Um, you know, you know what's funny is I'm usually the first one to be like, oh, for God's sake, I didn't have a problem with it because they have a history. They have a past, they have a history, and he thought because I started going, he would never have done this with William in that house, and then I rewound and I'm like, oh, he says like I didn't expect you so soon. William wasn't home, so he did not, and he wasn't.
Yeah, well, I mean that's an issue I have too. Is that like William wasn't home, but Amaranthus was, and all the servants and Lord John is way. We'll get to that. Like it's not that I have the issue with. It's William walking in and what happens because
It's so
all right,
Hollywood.
okay.
It's so
Let's
Hollywood.
nutshell it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they
yeah,
wanted to give us. This is partly like the what I was saying about like Twilight and telling us in the car instead of in the meadow. Was it the meadow or in the whatever? And Catherine Hardwick explained I had to do it, the director. I had to do it this way because you can't do it this way. You can't do it this way. And this is where I'm starting to feel this way with this show. Like, are they doing these things because did they want an aha moment? Like, did they want to, oh no, they didn't? Like, why the, geez,
William seeing that their relationship changes forever.
that's what I'm saying. Well, this isn't the book, right?
This is not in the book. No.
So we don't know because it's Hollywood.
I had to AI that. I had to chat GPT that because I was like, I would remember this if this was in the book, but maybe it was, and I just like at that point it's towards the end of the book or whatever, and I'm like not remembering. So I had to ask ChatGPT, like, is this in the book? No. Percy and Lord John don't even like, have any sort of like physical intimacy. Like they haven't they never like he Percy is in the book sort of related to Richardson, but like Percy and Lord John do not have a physical relationship at all. There is no physical intimacy between them at all, and there hasn't been for a long time. All right. So I mean, I don't even really need. Okay, ding dong, it's Percy. He's got some intel about Richardson's heading for Savannah, so we know that something's going to be happening there. Great, like that's going to be exciting. Lord John is just like, I'm not going to tell you what I want to know. And then Percy is all like, you look so good, John. he is just slimy AF, but Lord John is falling for this. And all of this, now this is where I'm going to go off. All of this is happening in the fucking foyer, okay?
Yeah.
Or the bar or whatever, wherever they keep this. Like, why do you think, I want to be like, why do you think this whole story that Percy's like, remember that at your parents' wedding, like our parents' wedding, and we did. Why do you think you had to go to the bell tower, bro? Because if anybody saw you, it is a crime, okay? It is a crime. We are in and then I don't know how many years ago that was, but it was probably like 1760, 1750, something like that, probably 1740.
Oh,
I don't
the wedding you're talking about. Okay.
The wedding. Like, you know, we all know that the life of a gay man at that time, you could not,
right.
You know, you went to the bell tower. If you like sort of, you know, knew something was going to happen, you didn't make out in the foyer. You didn't. And like Lord John has lived his life that way. Percy, I'm guessing, has lived his life that way. They're not just gonna like make out in the foyer. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
And like, and the fact that then William just walks in on it.
Oh God, I saw it coming, and then I was like, "This
that's the problem.
Show...
That's the problem right there. That is the biggest problem in this episode,
because
in my opinion.
In order to make it interesting for the audience, you are effing with a characters and a storyline that you should not be effing with.
And maybe I'm talking out of school because I have not done the deep dive in terms of like culturally what life was like there. But I'm really guessing or assuming that like in today's world, if you find out your parent is gay, I mean, you know, it might be a little bit challenging to sort of like reconcile that, but but that's an accepted norm in our society, right? Right? You know, you're gonna figure it out, and it's not. You're
Especially
not gonna.
With
You're
Gen
not.
Z.
Guess what? Your father isn't going to get carted off to jail,
right? Right.
And, you know, fucking hung or
right.
whatever,
and lose his everything,
and lose everything,
his title and his land and his family and his 100%.
Right.
But maybe Lord John just figured like no one's around. I don't know.
So this, I mean, in my mind, this destroys William and Lord John's relationship. Destroys it. They don't come back from this.
I was wondering the same thing because I was like, what the hell is William gonna do now?
No.
William's gonna run to Jamie.
We make fun of William for, you know, that he's like whiny and whatever.
I make fun of William for nothing. I love William.
But
I have always loved William.
Like talk about Job. Talk about Job.
I have that written somewhere in here that he's more Job than Jamie now. Like, oh my, wait, there it is. I effing knew William was going to walk in. Oh my God, does this poor soul have to suffer one more effing thing? Lord, he's surpassed Jamie at this point in his Job-ness. I fear what the hell William is going to do at this point. His entire world just crumbled.
Right.
Yep.
This isn't Heated Rivalry where, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but like you can walk in on like two men and like kind of be surprised by that and not really know that they're having a relationship, but kind of talk about it and kind of and reconcile everything. Okay. This is not that. And it's not even that for like it's not that for a variety of reasons. You know what I mean?
Yes, but I have to say it's interesting because there are certain things in this. This is the second time I'm saying something that I saw it differently because of my kids. Because I have, when he and Lord John, when William comes in and starts, you know, and I love that William had stuff pent up that he was like throwing back at Lord John, you know, I can't even remember, so I didn't write it down. But I have, after that.
Well, it's the Arsmere stuff. He's
mad. Arsmere.
Because, and to that I was like, like Carol, can you name off our dad's resume? Can you name every like company he ever worked at?
Worthington.
Fuck no. Like, sorry, William, but like, but where your dad worked or what he did before you were born is
No.
none of your damn business.
Yeah, but
Like,
no,
it's
wait a
not. No,
minute.
I'm not gonna blame you for telling me that you. Okay, maybe like the idea that like he knew Jamie, but like you got to know he knew Jamie from somewhere, right? Like,
I guess, but I think that William, with all of his stately upbringing, was like, why'd you leave? Like, why did you take over from
why did you
the.
take over a prison? Okay.
No, no, why did. I think William, when he found out Jamie was his father, then said, okay, wait, why in the world would my stately father with all of these titles and lands, take me from the horse, whatever you want to call, what was
Whisperer,
Jamie?
yeah.
And then as the years went on, William started finding more stuff out. William found out that Lord John was, the whatever he was at Ardsmuir, and like just all of that. William over time is like, yeah, but wait, why this? Oh, well, he was that. Oh, well, why? You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
now he's like, oh my God, like just how much more secrets does this guy have? And he's also, I feel like he was just starting to get past the whole Jamie, you're a stinking papist, and starting to be okay again with Lord John, who lied to him
Mm-hmm.
his entire life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have one of the most powerful scenes in this entire series. And then I have in all caps, series. Wow, wow, wow. And I love that intertwined into this uncomfortable, unimaginable situation is the 18th century. The thread running through it is parenthood and Lord John having just about enough of his pain in the ass kid been there. Like, I loved how Lord John was like, and I'm sick of you being ungrateful, because you know
Yeah,
what?
I like that too. In
As a
fact, I said,
parent, I was like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
damn right.
I said I sort of wanted Lord John to punch one
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
slap
because
him.
I'm the first one, I love William, so I'm usually on William's side. And in this instance, I was like, Lord John never says shit. William, you're throwing shit from years ago back in his face, but Lord John puts up with your crap all the time. And I loved seeing Lord John lose his shit. I loved this. It's real. It's truth. It's stop, like, you've been hiding all of this stuff, both of you, what you know, what you've done, and this was real and raw and edgy, and I liked it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. I love
I
any time the truth and emotions come out, because you have to face them. But at the same time, I agree with you wholeheartedly about, like, what?
I mean, couldn't it be something else? Like that's the thing. I just feel like Lord John's actions that would never happen given given the fact that it's Percy who he doesn't really I mean okay, we're looking at this from a book perspective, and in the book perspective Lord John's kind of like learned his lesson with Percy, and he's like, "Ugh, okay, yeah, Percy, just go away, like whatever, I'll just use you for like your information, whatever." um I don't know, it's just like a kind of an easy way to like have William find out a secret about Lord John, that like the repercussions of finding out that secret are like way bigger than what I think they're going to make them be, if that makes sense.
Amanda, alcoholic, cleared up in 2 episodes of Melrose Place. That is pretty much all I have to say on that.
Having William find out that Lord John is gay, unnecessary. I think there's a way to accomplish all of the stuff that you talk about without doing that, because of the way. society was back then. It adds levels to the discovery that wouldn't be relevant now.
I remember the books where didn't Bree like see Lord John? Did Bree see Lord John coming out of the?
The pantry. There was a couple. There was a
It was
couple
this
seasons
like the
ago.
slave quarters, and Lord John was,
Yes, yes,
and that's how Bree found out, and that seems way more plausible. And Bree was from modern day, so Bree, well, not
right,
totally modern day,
right,
but
right,
modern
right,
day enough that Bree was not shocked or dismayed by this situation, and
right,
Bree was not his kid.
right. But in
She
any
was
case,
buttoned up.
William is like thinking that Jamie. That's how he knew Jamie because Jamie was one of his conquests, and that's why I
Right.
wanted Lord John to slap him.
Can you
It was
imagine
that's the
Jamie's? I wish Jamie was involved in that conversation because I was like, can you imagine Jamie if that happened?
I
Jamie
know,
would be
I
like,
know, I
no,
know.
lad.
Jamie doesn't even want to talk about it. Um, it, this was the part of the show that made me the most angry.
All right.
So
But I did,
move.
but I loved the scene, but I agree that it's,
I
yeah.
understand your idea of like the relationship between father parent and I don't even say father and son, parent and child, but it's just all blown to bits. It was like boom goes the dynamite with that relationship, and I don't see how that relationship recovers. I don't. Maybe it
Yeah,
will.
well,
Maybe
who knows?
to your point, it recovers in the Heather Locklear way of recovering
Yeah,
from TV alcoholism. Okay.
yeah.
All right, we're back to the big house. Oh my god, this is so bad. Guess what? There's a letter from Ian. So Ian, just to short straw it. I don't even want to know what I'm going to say here. He's become Columbo. He's interviewing all the witnesses. So he's like, "Hi, so here I found, this friend of Jane's at the whorehouse in Philadelphia.
This is
She's
Ian.
giving all."
Yeah, maybe Ian's hanging in the whorehouse in Philadelphia because his wife's not paying any attention to him after the
She,
after the little
she's
trip
like,
last week.
"Is it just like one more thing, from whorehouse? Just one more thing." No. Um. So So there was so I guess that the friend of Jane's was like, okay, yeah, she was like in a pamphlet, like in a news pamphlet or whatever, like
Mm,
I don't know what they call them, like broadsheet, like
right.
whatever. Then but Jamie keeps reading, he's like, so here's this pamphlet, and oh, there's more. Ian tracked down the writer and got the writer's like the reporter's notes. And I was just like, what? What? Like,
Uh,
what?
well, okay,
Like,
he's in the brothel in Philadelphia, and
mhm.
he finds that whatever the flyer, whatever it is, and he's maybe if the guy lives and works in Philadelphia, he's asking
I
around
mean, I
and
guess is it like whatever the broadsheet is? Is it like the Philadelphia, gossip, um,
it doesn't
gossip
matter.
rag, and he works there? So I guess Ian could go if they have an office, go over there and track the guy down, and then go finally find him, and talk to him, and like I mean, are you a reporter who's gonna like hand over your notes? I don't think so. I mean, maybe
Well,
it's
if
a little different, like
maybe
for
maybe he let
reporters
him
back in the day.
maybe he let him copy it. Like I can see first of all Ian can do it in the brush. He can do it in the city. Like he's very good at asking
He goes like,
questions and yeah, finding all of this information. So maybe he did exactly that. Went to the guy's office or somebody said, "Oh, he lives down on whatever." Found the guy and was like, "Okay, look. So can you tell me more about this woman? I am acquainted with her, or I am my family's taking care of her sister." And the writer's like, "Okay, well, actually, yeah. Here's what happened. It was interesting. She sat down with
well, it's a
me,
whole interview with her. He's the one that interviewed her.
but maybe I can see what you're saying. He's not gonna be like, here, there's my notes, bye." But maybe he was like, you copy these notes. I have these notes from writing that, and this girl wanted to make sure. I mean, isn't it a little more weird that Jane sat down with this guy and gave the interview about wanting to make sure her sister was taken care of? Well,
Well,
did
we
he?
knew that. Yes, we saw that interview last. I was. Let me just say, it was also nice to see the actress who plays Jane again. She was
Oh
great
my
last season.
God.
But I feel like we saw parts of that interview last season. We knew she was like interviewed for some story. Yes, because that guy looked
Okay.
familiar too.
But okay. So her point was, I want to make sure my sister's taken care of. How did
Right.
telling this guy, did this guy write the story? And in the story, did he say anything about her sister?
It didn't. It didn't
He,
help anything
it
because
did it
no.
didn't help anything. So maybe the guy was like, "Oh my God, she gave me all this information and she wanted to make sure that she helped her sister. I'm going to give this to you. Take it and make sure that her sister gets to see it."
Take the notes.
Either
Take the.
that or you can copy these notes that I took from her interview because she wanted to make sure her sister knew this. Here, write this down. You know what I mean?
But what? But whoa, 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 whoa. If he's all concerned with getting the notes to somebody who could help the sister, why
Mhm.
isn't he? Why isn't he going down to the ridge to look for somebody rather than
Well,
Ian
I can't
finding him? He's
remember.
like, oh yeah, I interviewed her. Yeah, it was a great interview. Um, eh, eh, what did she talk about? Oh, she did. I mean, like, did that part get in the story? In other words, like, did the broadsheet talk about the fact that she uh did I write down what she said?
What is broadsheet? Is that a
The
term they
the
used back then?
the rat whatever that newspaper is. Yes, it's a broadsheet.
Did they use
Um,
that in the 18th century? Broadsheet.
yes.
Okay.
I feel like they use it in Bridgerton, which is also like that same time period, sort of. But it's broadsheet, yes. Um, so yeah, it getting the author's note. I was like, what did he email the notes? Like, what did he do here?
He
Um,
sat down with him.
but like, also, here's another question I have. I'm assuming that this is like they're on their way home rather than on their way to see Emily. Because
Right?
if they're on their way to see Emily, Ian's like this. Oh, hey, friend of Jane's. Like, you knew her, right? You got any intel? Like, oh, broadsheet, great. Awesome, thanks. Gotta go. Bye. Like, he's on his way to see Emily. He's not gonna like do all this reconnaissance work,
No, it's on
okay?
the way
And if
home.
they're coming home, okay, I mean, how does Rachel feel about all this? Okay, we're gonna stop in Philadelphia for a couple weeks so I can be a spy and like, or like a, Columbo. And like, meanwhile, Rachel's stuck at home not only with baby Rachel Jr., but like Swiftest of Lizards, who she doesn't really know. Like,
Okay.
the
I
whole
am
thing is just
I am very much able to suspend disbelief in this situation. You're not going to ride from New York State, upstate, wherever they were, and ride all the way to the Ridge and not stop. And they knew people in Philadelphia, so yes, it didn't seem weird to me that they would have, all right, let's stay in Philadelphia for a night or two. We can do this, we can get these. Claire wants these herbs. We can, whatever. And I'm going to pop into the brothel where Jane lived just to make sure that blah blah blah. And here's the broadsheet, and I'm looking at the broadsheet and it says this guy's name. I'm going to just take a look, whatever. And then he meets the guy, asks around at the tavern. Yeah, do you know who wrote this? And then he says, okay. And he finds the guy and he has a conversation with him. How the information got into that letter that Ian wrote, I don't know. The guy told him, here's what she told me in the letter. And Ian wrote what the guy told him when they had a conversation. And Ian sent the letter down. I mean, that really to me did
no,
not.
no, he got the guy's notes. The guy was like, oh yeah, yeah, I wrote the story. Like, here's all my
I
notes. Here you go.
Yeah, I felt like it was like, yeah, because she was interviewed. She didn't write it, but
And it's so I
regard,
was like, I'm not really a reporter. I mean, I've like, you know, written for publications, but like at the very least, I want a copy of my notes. Like, I don't.
okay, so like I said, the guy might have said, well, you can't take the actual notes, but if you want to copy them, that's fine. This is what she said in the interview.
it just was weird to me. It was weird. It was weird. It was weird. You
I'll
just
tell you.
also you just don't. I mean, your source is dead, so it's probably like not a big deal to share them. It was just the whole thing was just so weird to me. Oh, and he happened to have his notes, and Ian got them and sent them along. It was just so dumb. It was so contrived. It was so
Okay,
contrived.
I'm gonna give you that. It didn't, the contrivedness of that didn't bother me, but it bothered you, and I'm gonna totally give you that. What I found interesting was I have written down the story about Jane dying. Kind of creepy the way Claire says, like salacious and gory details of the murder scandal. I was talking to my phone, so it definitely didn't write down. Um, the murder scandal sells. Nothing new there. With not much emotion, as if this wasn't this her granddaughter? Isn't Jane Faith's kid too?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then I have who slept with her hot half
Who's that
uncle.
with? Yes, we haven't even touched that,
But
and like,
but
don't
I
even go
just am
there.
like, Claire talks about Fanny and gets like all verklempt, but she talks about Jane and she's very matter of fact, and the scandal sells, blah, blah, blah. This is your granddaughter, for God's sake. How are you not tearing up at this? All right, that's what. And I also
About
have to
what
say,
became of her. What became of her?
I took a
Yeah.
picture of Jane. And I said, "Oh my God, this is the first time." And again, I might have written this at some point and forgotten. This is the first time I'm realizing how much Jane looks like Bree. Did that like strike you at all?
Not really. I was thinking more in terms of like,
Sorry, you can't really see that with the.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, Bree. I was like,
I was thinking more
wow.
in terms of like, you know, looking like other women that William has been interested in. Um, but no, I get it. I get it. I just the whole story was so. It's nice to see Jane again. And here's what I wrote down. So Master Raymond told the lace lady to find Claire if he never returned. Why? What for? Oh, sorry, I kept your baby for a year. That guy stole her. This is what grandmother would say. Like if you know, and like at what point was she supposed to go contact him or them? And I guess she did. We don't really know if it's like a week, 6 months, a year. Like we don't really know. So okay. Then I'm like, so you're telling me that Faith in France hears that Jamie and Claire live in North Carolina, boards a ship with some husband and two kids to find this person that they've never met.
Who gave her up, and they think like, how could she leave the country and leave her baby?
Right, right. This is where I was like, this is like Scooby Doo stuff. This is like I would have gotten away too if it weren't for you damn pirates. Like
I I am
I
I
don't know what to say.
um
Like, and I was like, oh, this is good. Was the actress playing Jane like reading the dialogue? Like, damn, I got out just at the right time.
I was I was the last serious thing on this show. I I have the story is beautiful, and make no mistake, the music is the greatest editing tool on this show because it almost has me drawn in hook, line, and sinker, except the fact that it's just so damn soap opera. What the F? Just why?
It is.
Just to give Oliver a blood relation so he'll stick? Like it's beautiful, but I'm so unsettled about it. That's what I wrote down.
I don't think
Like,
it's beautiful. I think it's soap opera, and Outlander is not is soap opera is beneath Outlander. Claire's like Faith was coming to find us. Jamie, Faith was coming to find us. Oh my god.
she rode this way. Faith was planes, trains, and automobiles trying to get here. It made no sense. Faith and the husband jumped on a boat with their two kids to try and find the mother who gave her up, who she thinks gave her up and didn't care enough to
Right,
even stick around.
right. Because the lace
What?
lady said so.
And what? Because the lace. And why? Were they in trouble? Like, did they need like what? You're gonna go to the United? Well, they weren't the United States at the time, but you're gonna go to America and go to what? What? Yeah.
Right. In
like
17 whatever,
right.
where it's not like you're boarding a plane and you'll be there in 5 hours.
It's not easy. You know what types of things happen? Pirates kill you. And 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 then I have like, why do this to Jamie and Claire? Jamie, I can understand because, and I have, you could see it on his face, like how, and this was a central theme too. Not a central theme, but it's always about, I'm not going to say it yet. I'm going to say it in a little while. Jamie, I can understand throwing this at. Like, that's what they do. Jamie's Job. But Claire is a little bit more serious and whatever and pragmatic and like this is like they're drawing Claire into Jamie's Job-ness. Like I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to her? Why are you doing this to both of them? What does this solve? What does this prove? And it's all them. It wasn't Claire. This is like friggin' Daenerys turning into a psycho.
I mean, I don't honestly know. Maybe, I mean, it like narratively, it makes, I would think it makes sense to a book reader, even in the William stuff. The William and Lord John, William walking in on Lord John does not make sense narratively given the time frame.
Right.
And I'm just talking about like in general, like because it's not part of the book, whatever. This, if you're just a TV watcher, you're not a book watcher, and you don't know, but you still saw Claire with that like stillborn baby in her arms in season 2 singing the song
and broke us with it and now you're just going to make it seem like it was nothing.
So I can't imagine that even show only people are like buying this. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so weird. It's so weird.
And I keep thinking, I was
like,
3 more episodes. Maybe they're going to explain it.
I don't know. I think maybe they've wrapped it up. I think they've wrapped it up. I
told you earlier, I'm holding out hope, but I really don't think so.
Because you know what? If it's going to be this soap opera, go all the way and have Faith really be alive. Have the last episode be like, she walks through the door, I'm your daughter.
Right.
I'll take it. I will take it. I would rather that. If you're going to go like over the top, go over the top. Go like, don't just be like here. No, be bold, be brave, go way over the top. Because at this point, you've just like, you've destroyed it. So whatever.
It's very like just, what's the word I'm looking for? Not sensational. I don't know. It's like I'm watching some like other
storyline.
I'm watching One Piece.
All right, let's move on because we have the print shop to talk about.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, because you're probably going to take the lead. I mean, okay. Can I say one thing right off the top? Because I've sort of talked about like how I feel about this stuff as a book reader. The 3 big changes. This was really hard. This change. We can talk about like why they made this change, but I have to say narratively, it works.
Yeah, it did.
It works. It works.
I am miserable, but at the same time, I think I'm better than had it been from the books, Henri Christian.
Well, let's talk about that right off the top. Like, why do you think they made the change? Did they make the change because you can't kill off a little kid? Or did they make the change like because maybe in the last 3 episodes we're going to get some good Marsali stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some big writer or something, but I've gotten the opportunity to sit and make some changes with a writer, and I would have done it.
The more I think about it, the more I think that it works. It really does.
Yeah, because it then lends itself. Fergus was not, sort of like the way, I'm really reaching, but the way Diana says, like, Jamie was never going to travel. Fergus was never going to contact that whole family situation, the money, and
yeah.
he was
Hmm.
never going to follow that lead. But this is interesting, like, because I jumped on it and I'm going ahead, so I kind of don't want to go ahead. But if I were the writer and I was writing this and I had this terrible situation, faced with this terrible situation of having to kill, the sweetest child on the world, I would have in the world, I would have stopped and gone, what might be more interesting, because it lends itself to more storyline, an interesting storyline, depending on what they do in the next 3 episodes with Marsali in this
Yes,
situation.
yes, and I'll tell you specifically what it lends itself to. And it happened a little bit in this episode, but like this has got to have repercussions for Jamie.
Oh my God.
Because if
When
we never hear another word about Fergus again for the rest of the series, I'll be throwing tomatoes at somebody. Because,
I,
and they did do it. They did do it with Bree and Roger. And I really appreciated that. When Roger said, "You just lost your brother." He didn't say Fergus. He didn't say whatever. He said, "Your brother." We need to see, and we did a little bit at the end, yeah, he's mad, making the coffin, whatever. Um, but we need to see Jamie really come to terms with this a little bit. I don't think we're gonna because there's 3 episodes left.
yeah.
But like, quit fucking around with Faith and look at your actual son that actually lived, that you actually had a relationship with,
Right.
and mourn him. And come to terms with that. And like, it's back in the day. Remember back in the day when Claire came back and they were reunited, and Claire was like, "Look, I brought pictures of Bree, like you're our daughter." And Jamie was like, "Yeah, great, but let me tell you about William." Because no. I feel like he's gonna like do that with this too, and I don't want that. I want to see the impact of this on Jamie for the rest of the time. Which, by the way, I forgot to say this at the beginning. Um, we have what I've called a reverse Lafayette going on here. Remember back in the day, there was a show called True Blood that we loved, that we watched all the time.
Oh, Lafayette. I was like thinking you meant Lafayette from like the Revolutionary
Yeah.
War.
And and
Who's
and it
like
was
met
based on a
with
series of
Lord John
books.
and shit. Like what?
And Lafayette in the books gets like dies at the end of season 1, but they kept him on the whole series because he was so great. Like the actor was so great. And like
Who ordered the aid?
Murta was Lafayetted. They Lafayetted Murta. Like remember
Yeah.
that? This is
Yeah.
a reverse Lafayette, where Fergus does
Oof.
not die in the books but dies in the show.
All right. And while you've been talking, I've been scrolling through my photos from previous episodes. I can't find where I know I wrote it down. What did Fergus say when Marsali said something about a great man, and he said I was raised like I was raised by like my father is.
It was like I don't need to have another father. I don't need to have another family or whatever. Like I was raised by yeah.
I wish I could think of
I'm already the son of a great man. I'm
That's
already
it.
the son
Thank
of
you.
a great man.
That is, yeah. And I thought, okay, thank you for giving that to us, because that, I don't know if that line was from the book or not, but seeing what we saw today, now I'm like, I'm not okay with it. Obviously, I'm kind of a wreck, but I love that they gave that to us, because he just
Right.
loved
And
Jamie from start to finish, and Jamie loved him.
I'm skipping all over the place, but like the montage
Oh my God,
that broke me. That
I was
broke
like,
me. That was
wow,
like,
this is wonderful that they're doing this. I didn't expect that. Holy cow.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That was great.
Beautiful.
It's
And
still not enough for
reminding
me. I
us.
need to. I mean, if that's Jamie processing all of this, like if we don't ever hear again about Fergus, and I think we will since Marsali, I guess, is living with them now. I don't know. It just was like to me, I just don't want Fergus to get a short shrift. I don't want it. I don't want Fergus to be the alcoholism that's cured in an episode.
Yeah. Agreed.
If this is the trade-off that we have, okay, it works narratively. It's actually the more I think about it, although you wouldn't know from my notes because my notes are freaking out. But I understand why narratively you might choose to do this, but narratively I need to see the impact on Jamie for this.
Right. Agreed. And I have to apologize to everyone because I've been doing this through this whole video, like as I'm reading my notes and looking at the photos that I took to comment on certain things. And what did you think about Jamie having his nightmare? Like Jamie sitting up
Yes.
and
Well, can we just like I'm looking through a little bit with I mean, we don't really need to go through like, beat by beat with what actually happened.
yeah.
But what I do need to say is so I mean, we've already said like in the books, Henri Christian doesn't make it. The show, Roger catches him like he is, some sort of like receiver. Something like he's like Tom Brady's receiver.
I suspended disbelief because I loved it. I'm like, yeah.
I know everybody wanted to be like, whoa.
But that just shows you that these writers, what they're doing to F with us. Because they know the book readers are expecting Henri Christian to die. And they're effing with us.
Yes. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining about, like, I think I get why they did it, and it works narratively. I'm sad, maybe not even because they made this change that's not in the books, but I love Fergus.
Yeah.
And I don't want, not like I didn't love Henri Christian too, but I did have to Google something. I did have to Google, could a man catch a 25, I'm assuming Henri Christian's about 25 pounds. And I'm assuming he fell about 20 feet-ish.
Okay.
Could a man catch a 25-pound child falling 20 feet? And Google AI says, yes, a man could catch a 25-pound child falling 20 feet. He won't die too. But it is extremely difficult and carries a high risk of injury to both the child and the catcher. While people have successfully caught children from even greater heights in emergencies, the physics of such a fall are intense. Impact speed. By the time the child reaches the catcher's arms, they would be traveling at approximately 24 to 25 miles per hour. A 25-pound child falling 20 feet generates a momentary impact force of over 300 pounds. And the entire fall takes only about 1.1 seconds, leaving almost no time for the catcher to position themselves perfectly. I think maybe he was like higher than 20 feet. Like,
I don't know. And
the injuries to the catcher, the sudden 300-pound force can easily cause torn muscles, dislocated shoulders, or broken arms. None of which Roger seemed to have.
Not Roger. Roger was fine.
One dude, I'm sorry, but like one dude catching a kid, it would be, I guess if they wanted Roger to do it, I think it's way more believable if they could have, there was enough time as Fergus is like setting up this rope or to get a bunch of men like underneath to try to catch them.
Right.
I was just like here's Roger.
Yeah. It was awesome though. It was awesome. It was, I didn't even care.
I just thought it was pretty hilarious.
I started thinking about all the things. I was like, wow, I wonder if back then, when this happened, first of all, the minute they got that note with the little limerick that said something about fire, I actually had it written down and I didn't read it earlier. Like, I would have been on that. I would have been a nervous wreck because of back then how fast things went up. Everything's wood. Everything just went
right.
The house catches
there's all
fire.
Sorts of, like chemicals and shit in the printer's office.
Oh Lord, I hadn't even thought about that. But so I was kind of like, I wonder what they did back then because, did they have any kind of, everybody bring your pillows out here and put them up against the house if somebody falls. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
yeah, well they have plans in place.
And then I was
you saw the fire people there doing all the fire
and then
shit.
I was like, did they get like hay and put hay so they could jump into the hay? Like what was it? Sundance? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Woo! Into the hay. And then I'm like, yeah, but if you put hay, you don't remember that famous scene of Paul Newman, and I never saw it, and Robert Redford
I've probably
jumping.
seen it, yeah.
All right, anyway. So that's what I kept thinking. Like, yeah, but if you put hay against a burning house, that's gonna burn. Like, I don't know. These are the thoughts because you didn't live back then, and you're like, what did
Right.
they
I just
usually do?
yes, I feel like everybody saw what was going on. They saw like the possibility of them like they would have been a little more prepared because they had time because like Roger's not if I'm a Christian like was Roger standing there to catch him? Like I don't know. Whatever.
All right, let's move
I'll
on.
try to suspend disbelief too. I just thought it was
Yeah,
very funny.
yeah.
Um so and I just wrote down reactions about this because this seemed to be the biggest thing that everyone was freaking out about. It makes sense from a storyline narrative perspective. Non-book readers will be sad, but fine with it. Book readers, it's a little harder. But I
Oh God, a
after
little
talking
harder.
this through again, I think some book readers are just like if it's not in the book, it's wrong. I don't love it, but like I
No.
get it. I get this.
Yeah,
I understand this one.
I'm not like that, especially when Diana Gabaldon herself is the one who says the books are the books and the show's the show. As long as it has her approval, I'm okay with it. But hello, like a little upset. I'm wearing black and drinking bourbon. Like I'm a lot upset, but I get it and it works. I'm with you
Right.
100%.
Right.
I am, yeah.
It also makes me think about the Percy storyline now. Maybe you're right, and that Marsali is going to change her mind and take the money.
She better.
I don't think she will. And then that's like then I wrote down like so this whole Percy storyline is a means for him to get closer to Lord John. Well, no, it's not because that I think that does happen in the book. Um, I don't know, whatever. And then Jamie gets barely a passing reaction. This is his son. If we don't see some serious grieving processing in future episodes, if this is all forgotten, I'm going to be super pissed. And he does grieve at the end, but it's more like I felt that montage was great. I loved it, but it was it was for our the viewer's sake as well as that was like the highlight reel clip of like when someone dies and they give them a highlight reel at the Oscars. Like that's what it was.
I thought it was like the end of the Twilight series when
Yes. Oh my god, that I cried throughout the whole thing. 2 minutes of like everything from Twilight, and I sobbed.
sobbed. All right, so wait. Jamie
Do,
sits
do,
up. Are you there yet?
oh, okay, yeah. All right, are
Jamie
we like? Do
sits
we?
up
Okay,
and has
bolts
his
out of bed. A
yeah,
terrible feeling something is wrong. So, what did
yes.
you think of this?
I have interesting that Jamie is the one that has a terrible feeling something is wrong. I mean, I know he has the gift of whatever, like dreams, you know what I
Uh,
mean?
uh,
So that makes sense. But I said, I, I haven't read this book, so I don't know if it was just in the novella or if it's developed at all in this book that, there was a question that Claire was actually the one who's blood related to Fergus because of the
right,
Beauchamp. So
right.
I thought it was interesting. Now, Jamie's his father, so it was totally believable and understandable and upsetting, which it was a good scene. But I just found that really interesting that Jamie just like bolted up. And that's the way my brain works. I started thinking about, yeah, Jamie does have that gift of, I don't know what it would be when you have dreams about something that's happening somewhere else at the exact same time. But interesting because Claire is the one who's possibly blood related to Fergus.
Right, right, right. I was just like, I wrote down like, it was such the moment of like, it's as though thousands of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. He's like channeling Obi-Wan at this point, like.
Obi-Wan
um,
Kenobi.
all right, so we're in some random guest house now with Bree and Roger. Uh, I like this little scene. I thought this was a really lovely little scene. Bree's like, "Would you stay here if something happened?" And Roger's like, "Of course. This is our home now." Um, and I loved that. Again, I wrote this down. Roger acknowledges that Fergus was Bree's brother. This is where we need to get the same sort of acknowledgement from Jamie. And I mean, not as much Claire, I would say, because Claire wasn't there for 20 years. Fergus was Jamie's son
Mm.
for 20 years while Claire was gone. You know?
Yeah, but did we ever have like good Fergus Bree moments?
I feel like we did. Um without being a spoiler, because it really isn't.
Oh,
And I don't know
Tracy, I
how
don't
far
like
you
where
got.
you're going. I don't think I want to know. Blah, blah.
Now, all I'm gonna say is like
No. Oh, you're saying
there
too
are
much already.
good scenes. There are good scenes with Roger and Fergus. There are good scenes with Roger and Fergus and Bees that are like maybe my favorite part of it.
Okay.
Roger and
So,
Bree, Roger and Fergus are the dynamic duo you never knew you needed.
oh,
That's all.
see, maybe I'll have to go back and read some of that. But
And I don't even remember why. I don't even remember what the hell they were looking for. All I know is like I was reading it and I'm like, how the hell have these two not like worked together on stuff before? Because this
right.
is great. Okay.
And Bree's pregnant.
And Bree's pregnant. That does happen in the book. So back in the guest house, or still in the guest house, we go to Marsali's room with the kids. And again, this is a great scene. Um, I'm guessing that you noticed that Marsali was like Claire and like you, sitting on the floor.
Oh, wow, you remember that?
You talked about it last time when Claire was sitting on the floor.
Oh, is it I guess it's a thing. If I
I
didn't do
guess
it
so.
myself, I wouldn't know. I have written down this is the truest thing you'll ever see on this show or any other. This is exactly 100% what I did. House full of people. I went up to my bedroom, I closed the door behind me, and I sat down on the floor and just sat
Yeah,
there.
you told that story when it was Claire
So
that
so
thought Jamie
when
was dead.
this scene popped up, could relate way even more to her. I mean, I was not expecting this episode to be so what it was, and she was sitting there, and I became a
Well,
soup
you
sandwich
haven't
at
lost a
this point.
child, you've lost a husband. So like you didn't expect to be like, you
I
expected to be super
yes,
sad,
yes,
but like you didn't expect to be like, oh no, it's just my life again.
yes, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, all right,
Back here we are again for
yeah,
the third
great.
time with the show.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, so I totally get where you would have been thrown for a loop and like, huh?
I was.
What? Yeah. Yeah. Um, so yeah, so Marsali's telling Brie about the poems and ranking them, and she's just talking about like it's been so long since Fergus and I have been together. I don't know where I ended and he began. Yeah.
That is again. That's what I struggle with today. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody involved in writing this show knows a thing or two about losing a spouse.
Yeah, because every time that they have covered that topic, they do a great job. And
Do a great job.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's time to worship Lauren Lyle as
We
one
already
does.
have. We told her that.
That's what I know. We're like we worship you in every episode. um, yeah, the two of them, both Sophie Skelton, Lauren Lyle, like is
Yeah.
really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
You really felt the pain. Really good. All right, we're back to the big house. Let me just like blitz through this because I just can't.
I know. I know.
Jamie and Claire, Jamie and Claire give Fanny the reporter's notes and Fanny's like, "How'd you get the reporter's notes?" She didn't. I'm just making that up. Uh, and then they start spilling the tea, and it is like it is like you know what it's like. You know what it's like, guys. I love the movie Tootsie, and Carol, you've seen Tootsie, right?
Oh God, yeah.
It's like the big reveal where they're filming live. They gotta go live for the last reel, right? And they're at that big party, and Dustin Hoffman is like, he can't be Tootsie anymore, so he starts making shit up to be like, what really happened. And then, except she had a brother that no one knew about.
Yeah.
He's he's
Yeah.
making it up, and he's making up more crazy, and like this was like, I'm sorry. The baby Claire had was Fanny's mother. I'm the lady that Lace Lady was looking for. Um, Jamie, we believe we are your grandparents. Ugh, I just about
Luke,
ugh.
I am your father. Uh,
They
uh,
told me that she died and they took her away. What I wrote down is like, I mean, where is the anger, Claire?
well, okay, I'll tell you where. This is the problem I had with it. Claire was swallowing her own emotion to look out for Fanny's. And again, it's something I've been through. And I just feel like, sometimes, yes, you have to. You have to look out for your kids. You have to look out for young ones. But at the same time, they also need to see real life. This is real life, Claire. You went through some serious shit. Do you think Fanny's stupid and she doesn't know? Like, you should show her how upset you are. You should let Fanny know how devastating it was to you to
Mm-hmm.
find out your daughter lived. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
She's capable
Right.
of hearing this.
Right.
She's going to
Right.
think there's something wrong with you if you don't tell her what's
Right.
going on.
Right.
And
Right.
another thing I noticed at this point, this is where I think I mentioned this earlier in the video, and I was like, I'll get to that later. This is where I started to get a little annoyed that it's always about Claire. I know Jamie was in prison. I know Claire went through all that, and she was sick and all everything, and she was mad at him. But Jamie lost a daughter too. And like Claire's the one in the front. Jamie's back here, and Claire's like, well, the minute I hear all I'm thinking of, oh my God, if it's not about Claire, it ain't there. Like, your husband went through something horrifying too. It's not, I don't know. I just don't like that this whole storyline is about Claire.
I mean, I felt a little less like that. I felt like they were a bit of a united front. Like, I didn't feel like one. Where I was going was like, okay, so you're all good with like Ian running around Philadelphia looking for like intel for you. Like, why aren't you guys finding Jamie? And Jamie, I'm looking at you. Why aren't you finding Master Raymond? To kick the shit out of him? Because like this is where I'm just like, why? Why did any of this happen? Like, Claire reveals the song stuff because the almost dead baby and Mr. and Mrs. and Master Raymond and Lace Lady were able to memorize these lyrics after hearing it once.
I love this sing along. The sing along. He's like,
And then,
on the seaside. You
Fanny.
got that? You got the second verse? You got that bar? Like, you're not
Fanny,
quite the right key.
Proving that she is a smart cookie. Fanny is the one that's like, how did she know the song if she's only a baby? I was like, you go, Fanny.
Which was them trying to placate us audience because they knew that we were all thinking the same damn thing.
Right. So the lace that Fanny lost came from the shop that the lace lady had. The lace lady made it for Claire to use to go mourn her dead baby that was not really dead, Faith. It was Claire's veil when they went to the fake grave, and I put a little insert, which is fake graves are very big this season. We're getting to a lot of fake graves, I just can't. I wrote down, I can't with all this shit. There is so much more interesting stuff we could be covering. Think of how much historical Revolutionary War, like loyalists versus rebels, all of that shit that we're missing.
Right.
We got to focus on fucking General Hospital over here.
Okay, yes, but you just made a great point that I didn't pick up on. Did she make the lace for like the funeral or whatever, or the burial?
Yeah.
And did she know what she was? Did she know what? Like, I don't think they said that. She didn't.
So maybe
she might not have known that she was making this.
Lace Lady didn't necessarily know that she was making it for. I mean, Lace Lady made the lace, and Jamie came in and bought the lace. So maybe she didn't make it expressly for Lady Brock Turak, because I don't think Lace Lady knew who Lady Brock Turak was when Master Raymond was telling her that. Like, if I don't come back, go see Master Brock Turak. She wasn't like, oh yeah, I know them. They come in for lace sometimes.
Yeah.
Wait, it's their baby? Like, yeah, like I said, if she did, she would have been like, wait, this is their baby? What?
I would have also been like, what? Okay, wait, what? You're not coming back? Like, why aren't you coming back? if I don't come back, like, what? If you don't, if there's an inkling of you not coming back, I don't care how cute this kid is. Take it back. Like, what?
The other thing I wrote down that was so like I couldn't with was then Claire starts in on the lace analogies. And I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm done with how like lace has holes in it that like represent this, but then lace is strong and represents that. And like, nope, done with it. Done with it. Done with it. Do you remember, apropos of nothing, do you remember there was a miniseries in the 70s called Lace? And it starred Phoebe Cates.
Oh my God.
I'd rather be watching that right now at this point.
Wow.
Like, I know. Pulled that out of my butt, huh?
Wow.
It's and the other thing that was so funny is that after all this, after all the lace analogies and all of this, Fanny's like, I think I want to go to my room now. And I'm like, Fanny, I am with you.
I want to go to my room now too.
It's all just bad. I don't understand it. I don't understand. Is there nothing more interesting we could have done here? Fanny living with them is like just as randomly the way it happens in the books is totally believable. That's who Jamie and Claire are. They take in strays. They take care of them.
True.
It would have been totally believable without this faith bullshit. No, I'm done. I'm done with it. Do you have anything more to say about that? Because I don't. I want to move on.
No, because I was wrong. I was kind of wondering if she knew something. I thought it was weird that like she was kind of like almost annoyed, and she was just like the cat that I can't explain it. And then she disappears. And then when Claire went up to her room, I was like, oh shit, she's not there. I was thinking like something bad happened, like she ran away or something. But
all right, so we're back to the guest house. It's the next morning, and Marsali in Bree's making the bed, and Henri Christian is like, we have to go back to the print shop. We must put out the news every day. And he does the little like the pen is mighty, this is like the sword or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Just sob. That little boy, God bless you, whoever, like Benjamin Moss, I think is his name, like I said. And again, Marcy's like, what will I do without Fergus? And then Bree is right on your mindset. It's like Bree's like, well, you could take Beecham's offer.
Yeah. First of all, when she said
just say it.
When she said, what will I do without Fergus? That's number 2, like, truth of all time. Like, I'm still saying that. So, yeah. And when Bree said that, well, I literally said, I'm screaming at the TV now. Tough shit. He's not here. You are. Go get that money. What are you, nuts? And I was like, all right, Marsali is just in the fog.
She's in shock. That's coming.
The fog goes on
That's
for years,
coming.
She's in the 21st 24 hours. So I'm going to give it to her. She did say something about the bairns. First, I don't think I told you that I kept putting on the subtitles in the beginning of this episode and turning them off and putting them on.
There was one point where I did too. Yes.
And finally I just gave up and just like left them on. But the subtitles said the bears, something about bairns notwithstanding or something like that. And I was like, wait, the bear? What are we talking about the bear for now? And it was because the subtitle got it wrong. So she said something about the bairns. But I said to myself, you know what? She's going to come to her senses and Bree's going to help her. This is just right now. Because she almost made whatever she said sounded to me like she was like, yeah, all right, I'll revisit this later. But how about when she says, I need to take him home? I'm sitting here like, does she mean the Ridge? Does she mean France? Like, what is she talking? I wasn't really sure.
And I was like, what is she taking home? It was a fire. Like,
well, she said,
it's like, bottle of ashes here.
They're still gonna bury him.
I guess, but like,
it's an emotional, it's a psychological thing. She needs to bury. And back then in the 18th century, you had to be buried.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think there's any of him. I don't know that there's any of him left to bury. I mean, I guess we don't really know. There might be. And that's why I was wondering, Jamie's like later on, Jamie's making a coffin. I'm like, bro, what are you going to put in there? Like, is there?
Yes.
I mean, that was a pretty big fire.
It's symbolic.
Fergus fell through the floor. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of him left, but
Tracey, First of all, my God.
I'm speaking very clinically here. I'm not. It's non-emotional.
It's
I'm really like.
symbolic, and it's to put it's closure. They need to bury whatever they have. Even the ash is him. You know what I mean? For
Of course,
God's
but
sake,
like,
I
do you
gotta
need?
look at it on my damn fireplace mantle every day.
But like, do you need a big coffin for this, or can you just get a little urn,
Ah, I guess, but maybe he didn't want
or
to.
like a little box? Like you don't have an urn. You have a little like cute box that you bought at HomeGoods,
That's
right?
that's I've probably told this before too, but I have a box. Tom liked to go out boating and fishing and sailing, and it's like a sailing box. I really should have a better one,
It's like a little nautical box. Yeah.
but I've never been able to. His family probably doesn't know this. I've never been able, which I will tell them now. I've never been able to buy like a nice, like whatever they are, like what are those urns made of? Because no one laughed harder than Tom at Meet the Parents when they were at that dinner. You gave me milk.
Well, but
Tom,
like,
when that urn went off and it went, he laughed so hard that every time I think about I should really get something a little nicer, I just start cracking up, and that's that.
oh, don't ever. I love that box. I love that box. I think
Well,
he's
like
very
I said,
happy
it
in the
was like
box.
more him, like the sailing and the fishing and the yeah.
Right, right. No, it's totally no. But what I'm saying is like, why couldn't Jamie make a little box? Whatever.
Okay, I'm telling you why. Because Jamie is probably thinking of Marsali and doesn't, no one wants to think of him like that. I mean, uh, another good question to Google to research. When did um cremation become like it certainly wasn't mainstream, you know what I mean? So like thinking of like ashes in an urn isn't happening. You bury your dead. You and if they just made a little box, you're just making it so obvious that there's like nothing
All
left
right.
hidden.
Okay. That's rational. That's logical. I
I
get
loved
that.
the
I get that.
Dracula box too.
And maybe there were maybe there was more of him than we're anticipating. Just because you burn, a house burns down does not mean that you, the human inside it, necessarily,
All right.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she said
like,
something about bones, but I don't know if she was being true, like
like
whatever.
figurative. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
All
figurative.
right. So but they're gonna have to. I always say like nothing happens without a reason. Everything happens for a
Yeah.
reason. So she's gonna take that money. Something's gonna come back with that money. Like they can't have spent all this time on like Beecham's money and the whole business. I think I think something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I
even know
think
what
so
to think.
too.
But that's what I think.
I
Maybe
think so too.
we're
And I'm
not done with
already,
that yet.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just put my new, I had to charge them. I was thinking that we have 3 more episodes. We don't know how much time it's going to take. And things happen very slowly then. By the end of this show, Marsali might meet whoever, get the money, and be remarrying. And then I started thinking of The Patriot. Because remember Mel Gibson? If anyone hasn't read seen The
Oh, just
Patriot,
tell it.
plan on it, walk away right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, he was ready to go marry Natasha Richardson or whichever Richardson was
Yeah, the
uh
other Richardson,
the other. Oh, God bless Natasha. Uh,
Jolie Richardson.
Jolie Richardson at the end of that because that's what you
Uh-huh.
did back then. And let me tell you one more thing. I've thought about this many times, thinking about the past and being into ancestry, and I read all of our family stuff and people dying. And if I were Marsali, that's what they did. You lost a husband and you had 4 mouths to feed. Heck yeah, you went and married the brother,
Well,
or
that's
you
what
went and married.
Amaretto's doing. And we talked about this last week that
Right.
Amaretto, it would be very normal for Ben to die and Amaretto to move on to the next Gray.
Tracey, her name is Amaranthus. I'm now calling her. She's a badass. Now I like her.
I said somewhere in some comment that I want to have a Google Doc with like just people where can add names of Amaranthus
Oh
or
my God.
or like their names of her. Uh somebody had a variation of praying mantis, which was hilarious. It's
And
really
somebody
good, really
said, I
good.
love it when every time you guys say Narragansett. Today I was just saying like chrysanthemum. But
All
yes,
right.
I absolutely expect by the end of this series that Marsali is going to like either either have a flirtation with someone and enough time has passed. Not for me. 7 years, haven't had a date. If anybody wants to get me one, okay. Or Marsali is going to get the money and not need someone.
Yeah, my Marcy's. I think that may happen, but we'll
Ugh,
see. Let's
wouldn't that
let's
be
keep going
nice?
because we can't we're way into 2 hours at this point.
All right.
Okay, we're back to the big house. Yeah, Marcy says I need to take Fergus home, so that's what they're gonna do. Um, Big house, knock on Fanny's door. No Fanny. I'm like, maybe she got tired of all this bullshit, like dramatic, overly dramatic shit, and like split. No, she didn't. They find her by the cairn. And we talk more about she's afraid if she loses, now that like she's cool with them being her grandparents, but like that means they love her and she loves them and she loses everything she loves, so they're gonna be going too. And Claire's kind of like Claire and Jamie should be like, well, we're trying hard not to make that happen, but
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
we're doing our best here. um, so later it's at the big house and Fanny's sort of standing up on one of the verandas, and we get a Claire voiceover. And this is really hard because it's like I feel like the Claire voiceovers more than anything are Diana's words. And I don't think they're Diana's words because they're talking about, they're reacting to Fergus dying and them all coming back and arriving. And you see under the voiceover, Claire and Jamie go when Jamie and Marsali have a big hug, and I guess because I don't think they would know at this point what happened. Um, they're breaking the news to them. Um,
Hang on. Sorry, you passed
what?
this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Is it
That's
me or does
they're
this look
like
like an old time? This looks like The Quiet Man. Like, look at this scene. I thought it looked so old fashioned. Like, you didn't even like notice that?
I probably was like finishing typing from the last thing I did, but I mean, yeah, no, I didn't notice I didn't like you're way more visual than me. Don't forget.
Well, not only that, show watcher. I see Jamie go Claire. They've come home, and I'm like, oh no. Because Jamie has no idea. So I zeroed in on that. I zeroed in on how neat and old fashioned that little scene, not scene, but shot looked. And then I said, oh dear God, Jamie's gonna find out.
What did you think of like how they showed Jamie finding out?
You mean like the they
Like
were
that
just back?
you don't see what they're saying or hear what they're
Yeah.
saying. You hear Claire's voiceover instead.
I thought it was good. Although I did also, that's funny you should say that because I think, was that the scene? There was a scene that I was like, I wonder if they had a problem with this scene and they had to just go back and have Claire do a voiceover. But yeah. But
I really don't want to do looping. Can we just have a voiceover? Okay, fine.
and just Lauren Lyle, just oh dear God, just the crying, just seeing her from behind her, kind of a little bit of her face, crying and hugging him. She's so good.
You know what scene for me was the Lauren Lyle God damn it, she's so good. Um, when they were walking in the Savannah Farmers Market, and it was like a walk and talk sort of,
Yeah,
and she'd be talking to Bree, and then she'd just do this aside of like two of these. Good, it's the physicality of her
yeah.
and like the physical technical acting of like totally remaining present in this conversation with Bree.
Mm.
Oh, but I'm like getting this over here, and I'm like like we would do in normal life.
Right,
But like to see an act, she's just so natural and
right.
so it's not not like I'm like such this great actor or whatever, but like I've acted before, and that's not an easy thing to sort of divide your attention and or like
Right.
keep your attention here while you're also going here. And
Right.
it she's so good, she's so
Right.
good, she's so bloody good. All right, we're outside the big house and Jamie's making the coffin. We've talked about this a little bit. I was like, where was the body when they got back? Because I didn't see it in the wagon.
Mm.
And then they have the montage of Fergus memories, and that just broke me. It broke me. It's so good to see little Fergus, like all of it, all of it. It was the story of Fergus. It really was. It was the last.
And it just was reminding you, little Fergus, and reminding you of all the things that happened over the years. And
oh my God.
and did you see when he came back, when Claire came back and older Fergus, and she's seeing him and like, Fergus, and he's like, oh.
I remember that. I remember when that happened. I was like, the one thing that stood out with me with the montage was, oh my God, the Jamie is Jesus shot.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I don't remember if that was like when he was living in the cave. I don't think so, because he did shave.
I was thinking it was the cave, because I remember from another time after the Black Jack Randall stuff, we were like, ooh, the wig.
But I do think Sam needs to do the remake of like Jesus of Nazareth or something, because he like is like the picture of Jesus. So Fanny shows up. She's like, she's like, walk with me.
I know. I noticed that. I was like, all right.
So she made a little cairn for Fergus, and that was very sweet. And she calls him Granda. It's very sweet. Fanny's very good this whole episode. Would she call him Granda because she's not Scottish, or has she just heard enough of?
I don't know.
No, Germain and the kids call him Grump. I can't say it in French, but like it's the word for grandfather in French. They don't call him Granda.
I don't know, but I needed this scene because, as I told you before, if it's not about Claire, it ain't there. I needed this scene because I needed Jamie to have some attention and comforting and support. You know what I mean? And just Jamie, because like all that he's lost. And when I saw this, oh my God, I just was like, I love this so much.
Right.
It was just so great.
I'm also probably speaking in the heat of the moment too about this whole idea of like Jamie mourning Fergus and processing it, and we need to see it like how the impact. We probably see it a little better than what I kind of thought, just because, if I were to watch this a third time, which I won't, he does. I just want it to be an ongoing thing. I think that we do see his reaction and how this is devastating, but I need to see that. I need to not have that be the end. The only time that's referred to or felt. But it's it is whatever. I don't know. Are you ready to get to the last scene?
Oh dear God!
Paris,
yes.
1744.
I'm really hungry.
I know. I know.
I just let me say one more thing to just tie that up. The stuff happened. Like, we go through bad things, but like I said, I'm into genealogy. I'm constantly pulling up stuff from 100 years ago and reading about deaths and children, and you know what I mean? This one had another husband after that one. We have a great or great grandfather who had a wife and how many kids, and then she died, and then he married someone else because he can't take care of all these kids by himself. All this stuff is so true. Grandma Irene had a sister named Gertrude who died very soon after. Like, there's so much stuff that we don't see as much. You know what I mean? Not that we don't all go through heartache today, but it was a lot more prevalent back then. So I find it fascinating, all of it.
Okay, so we're in Paris, 1744. Master Raymond is at the lace store. He's passing the baby off to the lace lady. Once again, we get like the big long, soap opera explanation. The father's in prison, the mother's unwell. I was like, why can't the nuns take care of the baby? If you're saying what it sounds to me is like, well, nobody is available to take care of this baby right now because the father's in prison and the mother's unwell. Ask Mother Hildegard and company to take care of the baby until Claire is feeling better.
I agree with you, but I don't know why they didn't mention Mother Hildegard, but they did say the baby was given. The lace lady told Faith eventually that they that Master Raymond gave her to the lace lady to watch because she was the only one he trusted.
But like, why would he have to trust somebody? Again, if the reasoning is that the mother is not well and the father is in prison, ergo, one would think all we need to do is find someone to take care of this baby until the mother is feeling a little better.
And
So why are
and
you bringing it secretly to the lace lady? Why are you stealing the baby and bringing it to the lace lady?
and
It's
and
so contrived. It's
and
so
why aren't
contrived.
you at least sending someone? You're obviously, you know that you could have a problem. You could run into a problem because you're saying if I don't come back. And he's also a traveler. So somebody could be after him. Who knows? But you're not going to send someone, some messenger to the prison to at least tell Jamie, you have a kid. Your wife's out of it, but the baby lived and the baby's going to be with the lace lady. How hard would that have been?
That to me, I never even considered that. No, that wouldn't happen. I didn't ever think that would happen in my head. Jamie, like, no,
Where's Claire?
no.
Where's Claire? She's at the hospital.
Right,
She's
but
she's with Mother Hildegard, isn't she? In the nunnery or whatever.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what the f?
I know. Why are they taking the baby away and bringing it to the lace lady?
But this is what I'm saying. I don't expect an answer, but we deserve one, and I am hopeful that we will get one because why are you taking the baby to this woman who you trust? Was that just a figure of speech? Like, listen, I need somebody I trust to take that's going to keep this baby and not give this baby to somebody
Or
else.
that's going to keep the secret that I just stole this baby.
I don't think it's that he stole the baby. I think the baby was dead and he used his blue light special to bring the baby back to life. And which is why they worked that stupid storyline in a couple weeks ago about Claire and her blue light special bringing the baby.
That's in the book. That happens in the book.
But okay, that is maybe what is teaching
and Master Raymond
us.
might be able to do it too. Like he brought her back to life. Great. Why not be like, look, Claire, I brought your baby back to life. Here you go.
Okay, maybe because Claire was out of her mind and he wasn't sure she was going to live because he couldn't bring her back to life. So he took the baby and he said, I can't bring this baby. Like, I can't leave this baby here. Claire's like not even conscious. I don't know about the nuns. I don't know why he couldn't leave the baby with, maybe they would see it as black magic. And so he was like, the only one I can trust. Maybe Lace Lady was into magic or something. And he took the baby to the Lace Lady because he trusted her because she's into, herbs and all that crap. Maybe that's why. Maybe he just said these nuns are going to see this as, they're like, yeah, no. I could see that, but explain it to us. And that's why, but this whole, I left the baby with the Lace Lady and told her to go find Lady Brock-Turok, but Lady Brock-Turok has already left. Well, and she immediately...
And doesn't know that the baby's alive.
And didn't Master Raymond told you this woman was sick. Didn't you kind of put two and two together and go, listen, there's this woman. Why did Master Raymond... Oh, because Master Raymond can't tell the Lace Lady that he brought this baby back to life.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, okay, I'm bringing you this baby, and if I don't come back whenever, for whatever the deadline is, go find Lady Brock-Turok. The person I stole the baby from. Like, what are you going to say? Okay, he's not back, so let me go over to the nunnery, like, knock, knock. Say she's there. Hey, Lady Brock-Turok, you don't know me. I'm the lace lady. I sold you some lace, remember? Guess what I got? Your dead baby, who's not dead anymore. Like, how does this go down in Master Raymond's head?
So Master Raymond leaves the baby and says, if I don't come back, go find Lady Brock-Turok. In the meantime, Lady Brock-Turok comes in and gets some black lace to go bury. She had nothing to bury. What did she do with the black lace?
I don't know.
I thought she went to bury the baby.
I know. There's no baby to bury. It's all, Carol, it's all bad. It's all very, very, very bad. Don't give me, the show is the show, the book's the book. I don't care what world you're in. This is a stupid storyline.
All right,
it's a stupid
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's wrap it up. We should be playing some General Hospital music right now. And forgive me for playing with my hair.
The Master Raymond is like, oh, she likes this song here, by the sea, yada, 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 yada.
Second verse.
And the lace lady's like, the lace lady, since she is like some sort of Beethoven wonderkind or Mozart wonderkind that can like learn a song once and all good. Yeah, she learns it one
lady,
shot.
You're a little off key. I need you to bring it up.
Yeah, I thought you had perfect pitch, lace lady. Yeah. Then that's it. And then
no, it's seaside.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was down the shore. down the shore.
The boat's gonna suck us down.
You guys, we have been talking about this episode for I don't even know how long now. I can't even. I'm surprised my phone still has batteries.
We started this at about 2:45.
I know, and we gotta go. We have like 3 minutes left on the fourth reel of this video.
Yeah, we gotta go. We're not making another one. Yeah.
So we have to go. Please, I feel like I know a lot of what everybody thought, but those are our thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with them, if you disagree with them, but tell us in the comments what you thought.
Yeah.
I really have to get this video out as soon as I can. It's been tough getting them out in a timely manner this time, but I'm going to try. So let us know, because this was a hard one. This was a hard one for book readers to swallow. And in some ways it was a hard one for not book readers to swallow. And it was a hard one for all Fergus fans to swallow.
It was even hard for Patsy and Randy behind Tracey to swallow.
Randy.
It's hard for Pocket Jamie to swallow.
Slow golf clap. I forget if we did it, but slow golf clap for Cesar, dumb boy.
Oh dear God, we will miss you so much. I'm sorry I didn't kiss your ass in New York better.
We love you.
I didn't know.
All right, you guys, 3 more left. I don't even know what we're going to do.
Come to Scotland.
I don't even know what we're going to do.
We're going to go to Scotland. That's what we're going to do.
It can only go up from here. Come to Scotland. We're on all the things. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all the things. And that's it. We'll be back next week. I think there's one. Yes, there's one next week. So we will see you next week, guys.